Hundreds of area businesses are looking for employees, but some say it hasn't been easy to find them.
The White House announces sweeping sanctions against Russia. I'm Natalie Brand with why the administration says it's taking action.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Some area employers say they need job candidates but can't seem to find them. This is KOAM News at 5. According to the Missouri Office of Workforce Development, there are more than 3,000 job openings in the Joplin metro area. But many employers say they can't get people to fill those positions. Old Chicago Pizza has been short-staffed since August, but the owner says only a small percentage of applicants actually show up for the interviews. Some professionals at DECO say employers are trying to get creative to make their positions more appealing.
Companies are really trying to be more flexible on like schedules, changing from a 12-hour shift to an 8-hour shift or a 10, and that's been helpful. So we are trying to really do what we can and ask the candidates what they're looking for and what they need.
Tonight at 6, we're going to have why employers might be running into this problem and what could be done to fix it. According to the Federal Labor Department, 576,000 people filed for unemployment benefits last week. That was much better than expected and follows a week where there was a surprise surge. It also marks the lowest level since the week ending on March 14th of 2020, which was the very beginning of the pandemic. Tonight's a big night for the city of Joplin. After taking the last year off due to the coronavirus, Third Thursday celebrations are once again taking over Joplin's main street. KOAM's Mike Mahoney is live in downtown Joplin with more.
Well, thanks, Dal. Third Thursday is still a little under 30 minutes away, but there's clearly already excitement in the air. This get-together, put together by the Downtown Joplin Alliance, allows local artists and vendors a chance to show off their wares, and it also gives thousands of four-staters a chance to check them out, as well as a chance to check out local delicious food and live entertainment. Now, COVID-19 may have ruined the fun in 2020, but in 2021, the Downtown Joplin Alliance says that they aren't taking anything for granted and are taking precautions.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is social distancing. We purposely spread all the vendors out as much as possible. We did limit the vendor numbers somewhat. We still have over 60 vendors out tonight, so there's still a really good showing, but we're spread out over 6 blocks.
Now, Third Thursday lasts right here in downtown Joplin on Main Street until 8:30, so come check out the fun. And coming up at 6, you're going to hear from one of the vendors participating on what it's like to be back after taking the last year off. Dow?
Mike Mahoney in Joplin, thanks. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development announced $90 million in grant awards to Native American tribes across the country. The grants can be used for new housing construction, housing rehabilitation, and critical infrastructure projects. The Wyandotte Nation received more than $1.3 million. Officials expect the total funding to support the construction of around 350 new homes. Checking in with Doug Heddy now. A bit cool out there, Doug.
A little bit on the chilly side, but actually still a pretty good day for us today. Temperatures, they did go back into the lower near 60 for a high. But look at the clouds increasing once again, just kind of like what we had yesterday. And we have a much bigger storm system, which is going to head toward us. Look at the rain increasing out across central Oklahoma, and then it kind of drapes back into southwestern parts of Kansas. But this is all going to head toward us. So here's 9 p.m. You can see the rain starting to increase. And then we get showers, maybe even a few thunderstorms tonight. We're not going to see anything strong or severe, but we are going to get the rain in here. So pockets of showers, a few thunder showers. Here's 5 a.m. and then rain increases once again for us during the daytime hours tomorrow. Temperature is pretty good if you want to get outside for the evening hours. Most of us are sitting near 60 degrees for us right now. But down, of course, we're going to get quite a bit of rain over the next couple days. So we're going to break this down for you here in just a bit.
All right, we'll catch you in a few. Thanks, Doug. President Biden signed an executive order authorizing new sanctions against Russia for a wide range of activities it's carried out against American interests. Natalie Brand has more details from the White House.
The Biden administration announced sweeping new sanctions targeting Russia in retaliation for its cyber attacks and interference in the 2020 election.
Our objective here is to impose costs for what we feel are unacceptable actions by the Russian government.
The sanctions target more than 30 individuals and entities. The State Department is also expelling 10 Russian diplomats and intelligence officials stationed in the U.S.
When we push back with our allies and partners, we obviously increase the cost and we increase the delegitimization of essentially those types of activities.
President Biden had a phone call with Russian President Vladimir Putin on Tuesday in which he warned actions would be coming and raised concerns about Russian military buildup along the border with Ukraine. The administration also says it's responding to reports that Russia encouraged Taliban attacks against U.S. personnel in Afghanistan.
We, of course, will not stand by and accept the targeting of our personnel by any elements, including a foreign state actor. This information really puts the burden on Russia and the Russian government to explain their engagement here.
Secretary of State Tony Blinken made a surprise visit to Kabul this morning and addressed concerns, including some from the intelligence community that Afghanistan could descend into civil war and become a safe haven for terrorists after U.S. troops pull out.
The consequences of that future are literally in no one's interest.
President Biden announced Wednesday he's withdrawing all U.S. troops from the country by September 11th. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
President Biden has proposed holding a summit with President Putin in Europe this summer. Putin has not yet said whether he would agree to a summit. The watchdog for the U.S. Capitol Police testified remotely before lawmakers today about the need to overhaul the department's intelligence collection, operational planning, and culture. Nearly 100 days after the deadly attack on our Capitol, Inspector General Michael Bolton presented his findings of faulty intelligence and the department's lack of training and general preparation. The report finds Capitol Police officers did not know just how serious the threat was and were blocked from using aggressive crowd control tactics. Former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin said in court this morning he will not testify in his own defense. His lawyers rested their case today following testimony from a medical expert who refuted multiple prosecution witnesses who blamed George Floyd's death on Chauvin's actions. The retired medical examiner testified for the defense that Floyd's death should be undetermined because there were so many potential causes. A little later, retail sales getting a boost.
Americans are ready to spend, and that's giving the U.S. economy a boost. I'm Fami Redwood with the results of a new report on retail sales.
And next in Health Watch, researchers release new data about blood clotting in COVID-19 patients and vaccine recipients. New research from Oxford University in England has new data regarding rare cases of blood clotting in COVID-19 patients and vaccine recipients. But some U.S. health experts are casting doubt on the findings. Reporter Nancy Chen has more.
U.S. health officials are questioning the results of a new study from Oxford University in England that suggests the incidence of rare brain blood clots known as cerebral venous thrombosis, or CVT, is similar for the Pfizer or Moderna vaccines and the AstraZeneca vaccine.
So I think there's going to be some confusion about a paper that just came out.
Oxford researchers reported that the rare blood clots occurred at a rate of 39 in a million people after COVID-19 infection. 4 in a million with the Pfizer or Moderna mRNA vaccines, and 5 in a million with the AstraZeneca vaccine. But Dr. Anthony Fauci told a House subcommittee it's impossible to make that determination the way the study was done. The Oxford study has not yet been reviewed by scientists.
I believe when this paper undergoes peer review, that confusion will be straightened out and it will be clear that you cannot make any statement the way this is designed about the adverse events following the vaccination with the mRNA comparing to anything else.
The Oxford study's main finding shows the risk of CVT is 8 to 10 times higher after COVID-19 infection than from vaccines.
The importance of this finding is it brings it back to the fact that this is a really horrible illness that has a whole variety of effects, including an increased risk of CVT and PVT in this group.
Both AstraZeneca and Johnson & Johnson have had very rare reports of blood clots related to their vaccines. The U.S. paused J&J vaccinations earlier this week to investigate the clotting link. Nancy Chen, CBS News, New York.
The CDC says to date they've received no reports of these rare blood clots in people who received either Pfizer or Moderna vaccines. As U.S. airlines continue to book middle seats on planes, a new CDC study warns that might not be the best idea. According to researchers at Kansas State University, leaving those middle seats open cuts COVID-19 exposure by up to 57% if a person is near someone who is tested positive. The CDC recommends you do not travel if you are not vaccinated. Where you live could impact your brain health. Researchers in Wisconsin say older adults who live in higher poverty areas have a greater risk of cognitive decline. According to their study, those living in disadvantaged neighborhoods showed more brain shrinkage on scans. They were also less likely to perform well on memory tests. A new study shows the positive impact later school start times could have on your child's sleep. British researchers say delaying start times for middle and high schoolers by just 40 minutes could give students almost 4 extra hours of sleep per week. Their study shows 1 in 5 students report being less sleepy, and children did not oversleep as much on weekends. Doug Hetty is up next with his complete forecast. And a little bit later, Dollar General announces plans to hire 20,000 new workers nationwide.
Well, it turned out to be a decent day for us today. Still a little bit on the cool side. We should be topping out near 70 each day, but it's not bad. Had plenty of sunshine throughout the morning hours, but clouds have been increasing at least over the past couple hours. Temps right now, not too bad. 61 Yates Center, 61 in Welch, 59 at Grand Lake. We have Carthage at 60. Nevada also checking in right around 60 degrees. But look at the clouds starting to thicken up across the region. We're not going to see sunshine for several days. Northeasterly wind 5 to 10, but our humidity is fairly low for now. That will start to rise as we go through the evening hours. We'll slide back through the 50s, eventually down into the mid-40s later on tonight. But we're also going to get rain increasing across the entire 4-state area. Look at the clouds starting to pick up, at least over the past several hours. And then just back to our south and to our west, you can see the rain increasing. The leading edge is not hitting the ground just due to the humidity being so low, but that will start to crank up, and then you can see it developing back through southwestern Kansas. Heaviest rain is to our south, but this whole area is going to fill in. In fact, look at the colder area. You've got the snow out through northwestern parts of Nebraska and then up into the Black Hills. But it's this system, and you can see the jet stream all the way down across the southern plains. So that's why we're kind of cool. We're going to stay chilly as we go through the next few days. Let's go through time. Here's 9 p.m. Rain starting to increase on the Kansas and the Oklahoma side. Most of us are going to be dry for the next several hours. After 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2 in the morning, we start to get some showers in here. May even get a random thunderstorm. Nothing strong, nothing severe, but pockets of rain all the way into tomorrow morning. Here's 5 a.m. and then rain increases again as we go through the morning hours tomorrow. Periods of showers, again, may get a few thunderstorms, but nothing strong. Here's 9:30, rain throughout the entire day. All day long, we just have pockets of rain, so we can go all the way into the afternoon. And our temperatures really don't go anywhere. We start at 45, it's 48 by noon, a high temp of only 50 degrees. So it's going to be 20 degrees below where we should be for this time of the year. Tomorrow night, rain starts to taper off, so all the heavy rain is out of here. We're still going to have these pockets of light showers all the way into Saturday morning, a lot of clouds on Saturday, and we're going to have these hit and miss showers. And again on Saturday, our temperatures are going to be pretty chilly. Zooming in, look at our rainfall amounts. It's not extremely heavy, but it's definitely a wet storm. I think most of us are going to pick up at least a half an inch, if not upwards to an inch of rain as we go through the next couple days. All right, so rain tomorrow, high 50, Showers Saturday, high of only 52, 54 on Sunday. We could still get some showers as well as we head into Sunday. In fact, we got rain chances every day. So a few random showers on Sunday. We do warm up on Monday, a few thunderstorms late Monday, and then look at the colder air coming in. So by Tuesday morning, we may even have some flakes of snow trying to mix in, which would be kind of crazy. So it's going to be pretty wet over the next week. Only 54 Sunday, 66 Monday. We hold into the 50s. Finally, by next weekend, we start to permanently warm up.
Permanently, that is, until, say, fall.
Yeah.
Thanks, Doug. Coming up, as vaccination rates increase across the country, retail sales also climb. But first, we honor a local veteran. James Curry served in the U.S. Army during World War I. He has connections to Edna, Kansas and Neosho, Missouri, and we salute Private James Curry, a four-state hero.
Supporting Ron's Supermarket.
Dollar General wants to fill 20,000 job openings starting next week. The Tennessee-based retailer will hold in-person and virtual hiring fairs to find new employees. Officials say they have openings at local stores, regional distribution centers, at the corporate level, and for truck drivers. With vaccinations accelerating, a growing number of people are venturing out and spending more money. Femi Redwood reports.
A hunger for normalcy has Americans filling up restaurants again.
Restaurants are coming back to life and doing what we love, which is hospitality for our diners and our guests, and it's what we live for.
People are spending more time in stores as well, giving struggling retailers a much-needed boost.
I feel comfortable being out here, and I'm happy to spend what money I have, enjoying my life.
The Commerce Department says retail sales surged nearly 10% in March, almost double what analysts expected.
Why are we seeing such a big boost right now in retail sales?
I think we have a lot of reasons to smile right now with respect to what's happening in the U.S. economy. We have the impacts of all the federal stimulus or relief payments, so there's money to spend right now.
Bankrate.com economic analyst Mark Hamrick says car dealers saw an increase in customers last month. There was also a big jump in business at clothing and sporting goods stores.
What's perhaps most heartening right now is that we're seeing big pickups at brick and mortar retailers.
Businesses are looking for more workers, and that's giving the job market a boost. Last week, there was a drop in the number of Americans applying for unemployment benefits.
Where does the economy go from here?
I think the sky's the limit for the U.S. economy.
Hamrick believes unemployment will continue to fall in the coming months and spending will get closer to pre-pandemic levels. Femi Redwood, CBS News, New York.
Americans are buying less toilet paper, disinfectant wipes, and paper towels. Sales of products have fallen up to 32% in the past 3 months compared to the same time last year. That's according to Nielsen IQ. The market researcher found sales of household and cleaning products remains higher than they were before the pandemic. Final check of the forecast next. The CBS Evening News is next. Then on KOAM News at 6, a Joplin man pleads guilty to second-degree murder in a 2019 case. Plus, both Missouri Governor Mike Parson and Kansas Governor Laura Kelly were in the area today visiting businesses. And we're going to hear from an area hiring agency about the struggles for some businesses trying to hire more employees. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. Nepal's rhino population is increasing with the help of the coronavirus. Yeah, the number of one-horned rhinos in Nepal has risen to 752. That's up by more than 100 since 2015, when its population stood at 645. According to Nepal's Department of National Parks and Wildlife Conservation, that is, the Parks Information Officer credits conservation success to a number of factors, including the pandemic. The lack of tourists, he says, means the rhinos' habitats were not disturbed. He also said less poaching and more investment into habitat management contributed. one actual positive effect of the coronavirus. There haven't been many. The weather, it's going to be rainy ahead.
It is. Rain's going to start to push in for us tonight. It's going to be fairly light, but we're going to have pockets of showers all night long. And then look at tomorrow, just kind of a raw, nasty day. Raining all day, high temp of only 50. We're still going to have showers around throughout the weekend. Temperatures stay into the 50s. And then maybe some thunderstorms Monday, but you can see clearly rain chances each and every day for the next week.
Thanks for joining us. CBS Evening News is next. We'll see you right back here at 6. Let's take care of ourselves and each other.